Hello YouTube, this is teir1000 and today I'm going to show you guys a few little things about Armored Warfare. As you guys can probably tell about the screenshots on your screen. I was going to do live video, but every time I was doing live video my mouse wasn't popping up on my recording program and I just couldn't be bothered getting a recording program. Next time you guys will have live video, so you guys have my apologies about that. Now straight to it. This is about two things that I have found out. So one is basically your earnings. So what you can see right now is a PvE match. Now, PvE is very good at earning solid experience now that they can range from 500 to 2000. 2000 is about the maximum I've hit, but generally with a tier 4 tank you can hit about halfway between there is about 1000, and that's a pretty solid amount. The reason why I say PvE is much better for that than PvP. PvP you get much larger amounts if you win. Now, notably, you gotta win to get that. And same with credits. You can earn about 60,000 credits PvP, but again, you've gotta win, and you've gotta get the damage done to be able to get that. So there's that. Really, that's about it. So the method you should be using is PvE for experience, PvP, quite solidly PvP for credits. If you can get the kills, you can get it up there. Now, this next part is actually interesting. It's something I worked out myself. On the left-hand side of the screen, as you can tell, there's the European main battle tanks, and I'm going to mark that on the screen for you. That there is, you've got to block a certain amount of damage with your armor, and you can load up the game and have a look at yourself. In PvE, it's something along the lines of 85,000. I don't have the exact numbers right now because this is a post-recording. About 85,000. The interesting thing about that number for PvE, that is in tier 2 you have a tank that can block damage essentially from a lot of autocannons, and that's quite key for this. You can essentially, if you want to fork out some money to pay for more credits, you can essentially go straight up to tier 5 without even touching tier 3 or 4. Just straight up, all the way up to tier 5, as long as you're willing to get a team to let you block all of this damage with the tank. And it'll take a few matches. There's no way you're going to be able to do it in the first match you try. I did it with public matches. It took quite a fair few times, and by the time I'd gotten there, or gotten to a situation where I could even look at it, that was in tier 4. And the main reason is because tier 4 you can block damage from so many more different tanks, and it's just so much better statistically to do it with. Although a tier 4 tank is a lot harder to deal with, and you've still got to do all the modules and all that kind of stuff, so you got to fork out a fair amount more money. So in the long run, it turns out not to work out as well. It's an interesting thing. I haven't tested it completely myself. All I know is it's definitely something I would recommend looking into if you want to get straight up into tier 5, but you don't want a premium tank. The European main battle tank line is probably a really good one. I've looked at it. The base tank itself on paper isn't that good. In practice, from what I have versed in tier 4, versing the damn thing, if you get yourself in a hold down position, most tanks can't penetrate your frontal armor. It's just at such a nice angle, your rounds just bounce off. I mean, I've fired hesh at them, I've fired heat at them. The only thing that seems to bring them down effectively is artillery, and I haven't used artillery on them. It's just I've had teams shoot artillery at them, so there's that. So far I've seen rockets be fired at them, they bounce straight off. It is such a really good tank, from what I can tell. And that there's the Chieftain Mark 5, and I definitely recommend it. If you want to get into tier 5 straight up, and you're willing to fork out some cash, go straight into that stuff, man. It's a very solid tank. It seems to know what it wants to be, and it knows what it does. It's got one hell of a gun on it as well. It's got a very powerful gun. I think it's 125 millimeters. Don't get me wrong. I think it's 102 millimeter or 108 millimeter gun in the real life version. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably completely wrong. So, those are basically my little tips and tricks on how to play right now. Yeah, solid, pretty good. There's base, I recommend going in through base. There's going to be videos about that. I'm not even going to bother covering base stuff. I definitely recommend, if you're wanting to start but you don't know where to start, definitely try out the two tier 2 tanks that you get once you start up. Like, you have a tier 1 tank, use the tier 1 for a couple of matches, get your tier 2, use the 1 tier 2 to reset your other tier 2, and definitely try them. There's no harm in trying them, and personally I wouldn't even bother about selling tanks. Selling tanks is absolutely useless. You have unlimited garage slots from the get-go, so there's no point in selling tanks. Overall, if you currently can afford it, I definitely recommend getting the collector's editions. One of the collector's editions, I might be doing a giveaway on a collector's edition, maybe, no guarantee. There's two of them that I could be doing a giveaway on, and it just depends. I'm still yet to work that out. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.